I'm Adélio from HIDROMOD. HIDROMOD is a small Portuguese company. We are celebrating this year 25 years, so we are almost grown up. And we started mostly doing consultancy in the water cycle modeling. And nowadays we are continuing, of course, doing consultancy, but we have also a business related with the providing of services related with forecasts, marine forecasts. So what we are providing basically it's information, tailored information for some users. I will talk about them a little bit later. And this information it's the added value. It's easy, or it's formatted according the needs of the users. And this is something quite important because it's something that is different between the world of the scientists or the developers and the real world. Is sometimes we have different views, or most of the times we have different views about how people see things. For instance, we put a lot of effort drawing maps and have nice maps like animations and things like that. And most of people have a lot of difficulties to read a map, for start. And this explains a little bit the success of WindGuru, because when they started with a new way to present information that was already available everywhere. And they became a case of success because they started to deliver information in a different way. So our role is to deliver the information exactly in the form and in the amount as people want. So if they just want one phrase, I will not give them a text. So I will give them just the phrase that they want. And because of this, we are supporting this with a platform that we have developed for the last 5 years, 6 years. So it's something very complex nowadays. It supports a lot of different operational systems. We are providing operational systems for urban waters, for coastal users, and we are using exactly the same platform. So it is able to run a lot of models, different models from atmosphere, catchments, coastal, whatever. It links with almost any type of data source. We are linked, for instance, with SCADA systems and things like that. And so it's something that allows a small company to keep running a complex service chain that usually it needs more larger institutions. And we are addressing this mostly to port authorities. At least those are our clients nowadays, port authorities, some guys in aquaculture, and in urban utilities. And how we are doing this, we are doing partly free because we have to invest. That means usually before someone buy me something, I have to demonstrate that is working. And there are some cases that we have been supporting the system for ourselves for more than a year before they decided to pay. But of course, what we are interested in is in the paid premium services for the professional users. And these premium services include high resolution forecasts that we are doing. So we are doing downscaling and providing high resolution forecasts, non-public local data that sometimes it's available, but it's not public. And we are distributing it through different media. The most important nowadays, or where we have more versatility, is a desktop platform. It started because the first users we had, they are afraid of having things in the cloud and things like that. So it's completely closed if they want. But nowadays we are making a real effort in the mobile apps and in the web. So how we are using the CMEMS product is a little bit like in the previous presentation. We are using it from produce form model and from satellite. Basically, the model products are being used for providing initial and boundary conditions for the high resolution models, but we are also using satellite, for instance, for validation. And that's an automatic process that it's occurring every day. Every time we have a new picture, we can compare the two things and make some statistical analysis about what is happening. And we are using both global and EB because it's where our clients are. Nowadays, our clients are mostly in Iberia Peninsula and in Brazil. It's the systems that we have, that at least we have clients that are paying. We have others that we are supporting for the moment. And we are using these two, and mostly for current temperature and salinity, but also for chlorophyll. I heard that we will have waves. The waves will be important for us mostly for validation, because unless they provide us the spectrums, which it seems it will not happen, they will not serve as a tool for downscaling. So I would need the spectrums to use it for other things, but it will be quite interesting at least to compare what we are doing, because we are starting with Old Atlantic and then doing downscaling till 10 meters or something like that. And the same for winds. Of course, we are also processing the CMEMS products, and like we also saw in other presentations, just to deliver these products directly in the formats that the clients want. So this is just a scheme about what we are doing. We receive daily information for several providers, Copernicus, from in this case GFS, because we had this problem with the meteorology. It's not free, and for small companies like us, it's not possible at all to pay the services of the European Centre. It's something that I don't understand, why the meteorology, at least because we just need one level, it must be paid. It's a mystery, so from there we have this AquaSafe platform, and there we are running our own models. We have MOID, which is our hydrodynamic model. We run WaveWatch 3 and so on for waves. And in this case, we are not still running WRF, because we are acquiring the WRF downscaling forecast to other companies. For us, for the moment, it's more interesting. And then we are producing a lot of products that we deliver to our clients. So what are the benefits for us? For one side, it's innovation. So what we are providing, it's only possible because we have MEMS. Otherwise, we could not run global models. It's impossible. It's too complicated, and needs to manage resources. And it's contributing for business growth. For you to have an idea, nowadays, we are a small company, but in any case, the operational services already represent about 1/3 of our annual turnover, which is important in any case. I would prefer that it represent only 1/5, because our business is bigger, but it's how it is. And of course, it is allowing to reach other our geographic markets, and with the capability to fastly implement a model anywhere in the world. And we had some recent experiences. We had a project in Ukraine. We had to develop a model for the coastal area of Ukraine. We start with okay, and okay, let's go. And just some words about which are our clients nowadays. The port authorities represent our main clients. So I put here some examples. We have in IB region that are paying, and we have also a noise speed simulator available. And one important thing in things that we are providing is validation. So it shows the reliability of what we are providing. And the clients always have a comparison, for instance, between and this is made in real time, about the data that is being measured in the buoy and the forecasts that we are providing. So they always have a real assessment of how much they can believe or not in what they are receiving. And this is quite important. We have also a system running in a power plant. In this case, the problem is the algae blooms. This is our oldest system running. It's running since 2008. And we have a system running in this wastewater utility. We started with aquaculture operations that are increasing a lot, mostly in offshore operations in Portugal. So, how do we manage to have the paying customers, mostly being a so small company? I think the one thing is we have to have a good knowledge of what they want, and this means a lot of talks, and sometimes completely reverse what I think they need. I have an idea. I remember the first time I went to a port, I had wonderful ideas about big maps and things like that, and no, I don't want nothing of it. I want just a simple thing. So sometimes we have wrong ideas about things, and so we have to willing to learn with them. And for us, impossible is nothing. That means if they want something, we do our best to provide. And we have made this investment in AquaSafe because I think otherwise it would be impossible to keep the service chain running. So the main barriers we face is, for starting, I think it's the problem of everybody is willing to pay. It's not enough to convince the technical staff that they need the service. Then we have to also to convince the administrations. The access to data, it's something important. A business at small scale like us, it's not compatible with the costly data, and this is a problem. And of course, keep machine running, daily running, it's quite a challenge. And I think somebody already talked about this. We need to get access to meteorological forcing from Copernicus. This is something that we already put in the requests. Also the freshwater inputs, because at least we should know how the large-scale models are being forced, and we don't. And the last one I know that is being provided in the next month, the IB solution, the 3D IB solution. At least they told me that. So this is a request that it seems that will be fulfilled. So the conclusion, we are doing these services, and the benefits for us from CMEMS is capability to run these operational services, to get new markets, and this capability of implementing models anywhere in a short time.
Thanks a lot. I don't know, are there questions already in the room?
Are you making money or with this AquaSafe platform?
Yes. Well, it depends what you means make money, because AquaSafe was, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I would say that the investment in AquaSafe platform, it's more than 1 million euros by the moment. Of course, this was paid mostly for research projects. So if you forget that someone was paid for development, we are making money, of course. But imagine that I had to pay for my pocket for development. It's a tricky question, because to get return of investment, it's not so easy. So it's been possible because we are participating in these research projects, a lot of European research projects, but otherwise it would be impossible. Because in the end, what you can collect for the service is decreasing every day, because usually you have your example is the guys that are providing meteorology. Nowadays, that the companies that I know that are providing meteorology, they are providing for almost nothing. And then if they are providing, let's say, for 100 euros a month and I arrive and I say I want 1,000 for the oceanography, well, it's a big jump for. In the end, it's nothing in terms of a port. For instance, if you talk about 20,000 euros a year, it's nothing. They spend it in in advertisement in the newspaper or in the TV in 1 week. But it's a question of thinking how their mind is configured.
Your users is mainly administration.
Yes, mainly administrations. And we have we started now this we not started because we have made a big investment there in Santos in Brazil, but is starting to be really a success because it starts to appear in every week in the newspapers about the wonderfuls of the forecasting system of Santos, which is something that is pushing really in Brazil the service. Let's see how it runs in the future.
Yep.
What do you think about the Samoa project Marcos presented this morning?
Yes, we use some of the Puertos information also, and for instance, we have a system running Coruña port for oil spill simulation that is using the Puertos models because they already have this arrangement with Puertos del Estado. So. In fact, we use what is available. If I can avoid to run a model, good. I don't run it. In the end, what matters is the service I'm providing. And we can, for instance, in Brazil, we started with Moid. Now we have a guy there that usually likes to run Delft 3D. And now he's running Delft 3D. For me, it's okay. It's as long as it's run. And the platform it's running all these models. So we are running Delft 3D, WaveWatch 3, Swan. We are running SWOT for the catchments. We are running sewer jams, water jams for the urbans. We are running EPANET, SWIM. So there are a lot of models for a lot of things that are running inside platforms.